Hello, everyone. I'm Leeland Artra from the Future Fiction Academy. Today, I'll be taking you through my process of editing text-to-speech audio for my audiobook podcasts and audiobooks using ElevenLabs and Audacity. I have 3 series: a steampunk adventure, a lit RPG saga, and an epic fantasy series. One reason I love using ElevenLabs is its cost efficiency. It allows me to create high quality audiobook content from my chapters that I can then give to my subscribers as well as turn into a podcast on Spotify. Plus, it offers the flexibility to make quick changes as needed, which is crucial since I write serially, publishing new chapters each week for each series. Here's how it works. After I write each chapter, I transform the chapters into an audio quality MP3 file using ElevenLabs, which I will not show in this video because there are plenty of videos demonstrating that. Then I listen to the audio that it was produced, which reveals many issues that I might have missed while editing and reading it myself, like awkward sentences, missed words, or out-of-character dialogue. I call this audio editing, and this process helps me catch and correct these mistakes. I'll be showing you some of the techniques I use to fix errors and make changes. We'll do this through jump cuts, where I'll do some work, and then when I find an error or something, I will record it as I fix it, and that will help highlight the very specific edits that I do. So let's dive in and get these 3 podcasts ready to put up on Spotify. Ready, set, go. Okay, so here I am working with the audio, and I've just heard a moment. Now, this is one of the things I just do really quickly as I'm listening. So I'll play it and we can listen.
I'll wait for you on the skiff. With that, the colonel went to the skiff. I'll join you on the bridge. John Ali handed the port up.
Okay, so what we have is this happens a lot because of paragraph breaks, which is to say, ElevenLabs puts a little bit too much time in between each paragraph. So I want the kernel to be working a little bit closer to the kernel's activity. So I'll just highlight that and hit backspace. And again, this other part over here with Jan Ali
I'll
does.
join you on the bridge. John Ali.
So that's all of that is actually generally doing that. So really, to make that more natural, I'll just select a small portion of that one and just hit thing. Doing this edit makes it so it sounds a lot better as it reads through, but also reduces the time of the overall audio. Further, it's really quick and really easy. So whenever I hear breaks is just too big, I just hit the space bar, highlight the section, highlight subsection. It doesn't have to be perfect. And I just remove that bit.
I'll wait for you on the skiff. With that, the colonel went to the skiff. I'll join you on the bridge. John Ali handed the port authorization.
Okay, so this is something else that I see on a regular basis when I'm recording these things is that occasionally ElevenLabs will like slowly peter off on the volume. So I'll give this a listen.
She grabbed Kaysen's shoulder and squeezed. Friends again? She murmured. Kaysen returned the shoulder grab and then leaned in close. I missed you too, John.
Right. So it just made this section right here it just slowly gets quieter and quieter and quieter. I've actually had sections go almost down to nothing. So the way you fix this is you pause the recording, and again you just grab the section where it's most prevalent or that you want to change the volume on. Then you come up to effects, and we just add the loudness normalization or normalize. Well, we can normalize this one up, and you just have to try out different settings, and you want the amplitude of the waves to be close enough. So I was like, if I hit that, you see, okay, well, that made that super loud, but there's one piece in here that's really, really loud, but I'm going to just click this and go.
Kaysen returned the shoulder grab and then leaned in close.
So that's really not that bad. So what it did was it just took that out to the maximum, but it also brought the other volume of these other pieces up to a better level. And I just do that whenever I see a section that gets way too soft, or if I have a section that's way too loud, you can just reverse that. You could actually make it softer. So that's this piece. And here we go for the next piece. Moving on, I'll pop back in when I see something else to change. Okay, so I've finished going through the first episode. Now, what this gives me is a very well edited and listened to episode, which is one full chapter from beginning to end. I save each of these are saved into separate files. Eventually, you can concatenate them together to turn them into an audiobook. Generally, when you publish an audiobook, you publish the individual chapters as files. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to save this because I've made some edits. So I'm just going to export it as an MP3. And I'm going to save it back right over the file where it came from. So I'm just going to come over here. I'll go to Endless Horizons, Audiobooks, Podcast, and this is the raw audio. So I'm just going to put it back into the raw audio file. It's name. I've already given them all good names. And I'm going to literally write over the file that's already there. And it's going to say, hey, do you really want to do this? And then I say, yeah, definitely. Now, this is where I have a chance to fix a few things. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fix this in, and you fill in these details. So I'm just going to get rid of this one. Retract title is actually going to be the chapter title. The chapter title here is chapter 19, potential profit. And then this is actually track number 19 for the series, and I'm actually producing this in 2024. So there we go. And for the genre, this is usually a music genre, but I'm just typing in steampunk. There we go. And now that's going to fill in these details into the metadata for this MP3 file. So if I ever upload that file to another system, it can actually pull that data out of the file. So that's the first bit. Now for the second bit, I have a Audacity project, which has the intro and the outro for my podcast. And all I have to do is just, if I zoom out here, which is, one of the things you can learn is you definitely need to learn some of the keyboard shortcuts. So here's the whole episode. And so what I'm going to do is I just double click right there and I do copy. So, you can do edit, copy. For me, it's Command C. Then I come over to my podcast project, and in my podcast project, it's saved with the location being right here in between the intro and the outro. And I just paste. Now, if I zoom out on this, you'll see that now I have the podcast is here with the intro and outro, and the podcast is in the middle. All I have to do is go File, Export as an MP3. And now this one, I'm actually going to put into the podcast file because this one actually has the bits. And all I do is I just click on one of the files to preload it, and then I fix it. So it's going to be chapter 19, Endless Horizons, chapter 19, and change it from sand to potential profits. And then I do that. And so the project actually remembers where I was last time. So this is going to be chapter 19, potential profits. It's already that one. This is 19, steampunk. And I just go, okay. And then it exports it back out. When it's done exporting out, before I leave this project, I hit Command Z for undo, or edit, undo, right here. And because what that will do is that will take me back to before it actually, I paste it in, and that just leaves this project blank and ready for the next chapter for me to come over here and paste in. And then I can come over here and I can close this chapter out. All right. So now I'm going to go edit the next podcast file for my other podcasts because I won't be doing 3 of them this evening, and I'm expecting to find at least a couple more hair types in that one. So here we go on to the next podcast. Okay, well, I found working on my Seeker Lit RPG series right now, and I found a pretty funny air. So let's see if you can hear it. This is what I'm talking about audio editing.
It was, for a wild bird, it seems odd she'd be excited to go to town.
For a wild bird, she seems excited to go town. I missed the word to. So if I look over here at my Reeve Stories, which is the authoritative source of everything, I found it. It was, for a wild bird, it seems odd she'd be excited to go town. I actually want to insert the word to right there. So I'm just going to type in the word to, hit save. Now I have to fix it in the audiobook, which if I do some listening, I remember that I heard it a little bit back here. So I'm just going to go back a little bit, and I'm going to, since it was try here.
But we have a lot of information to work with now.
Well, that was lucky. All right. So if you heard it, but we have a lot of information to work with now. So I'm going to just zoom in a little bit here and isolate that.
But we have a lot of information to work
Okay. So it looks like this is the to.
to work with.
Yep. It is definitely the to. All right. So what I want to do is I'm going to zoom in a little bit more.
To work with.
Okay. So I don't want that. What I want is I want this. And I want to go just a little bit in. I'm just going to hit copy. Nope. To here. I'll go to here. That's probably good enough. Copy. I'm going to copy that one. I'm going to go back out here. I'm going to come back down to where I was, which was just past this spot. Right here.
That sounded pretty positive, Graham commented as he lifted his pack onto his shoulders. It was, for a wild bird, it seems odd she'd be excited to go to town. Graham shifted the
there.
pack up.
Right there. So zoom in here.
Go to town. Town. Graham shifted the pack of town. Graham.
All right. I'm just going to back up a little bit here because I normally have a little bit more visual space to work with here. So let me just zoom out just a little bit here.
Town. To go to town. To go to town.
So sounds to go. So I think I just need to put it right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in on that. I'm going to just click right here and paste that little tip to it in there. Let's see if that sounds right.
It seems odd she'd be excited to go to town.
You know what? That's just not working. That's actually a bad two. This happens. So now I just need to find a different two. So I will do that. Let me see here. Where should we go?
Town. Graham shifted the pack a few times before looking up at where Rhea sat on a branch. I don't think she's as wild as you think. David shouldered his own pack and grabbed the empty bird cage. Leaving no trace of their presence behind, they started the trip back to town.
There it is. That's a two town. Yeah.
Town. To town. A forest.
There we go. So I'm just going to grab that whole thing right there. There we go. Copy. That's a whole two town. A little fun. All right.
It was, for a wild bird, it seems odd she'd be excited to go to town.
So that is the town right there. We'll zoom in around. So if I just select this, because this is generated, I'm just going to do this. And you can actually see that is very similar. So what I can do is just remove this. There we go.
I had to go into town. I had to go into town.
I need to put that to after the A, to go to A10. You know what? This is not working. So this is one of those situations where I'm going to go back to ElevenLabs and just have it regenerate. So I'm just going to undo this edit right there. I'm just going to remember this word. So I'll be back in a minute after I regenerate off of ElevenLabs. Okay, so I'm going to give myself a little bit more space here. So I made the screen slightly larger. So first I'm going to go over here to ElevenLabs. Here we go. I'll log you in, go to the app. Good fun. And get all signed in. Okay, now I'm going to come over here to my projects, which is where this is hiding, and I'm going to go to my Seeker series, and I'm going to open up that project. There. Which chapter is this? This is chapter 11. Okay, so we're on chapter 11. So I'm going to come down here to chapter 11. And now what I need to do is I need to find that paragraph. So bangos, you sneaky thief. Ready to get back. Here it is. So then, sounds pretty positive. For wild birds, she seems to be excited to go to. So it was for a wild bird. It seems odd. She'd be excited to go to a town. So what I've done is I've just fixed that in ElevenLabs, but now I'm sitting on this paragraph, and all I have to do is hit regenerate, and it will just regenerate that one paragraph.
It was for a wild bird. It seems odd. She'd be excited to go to a town.
And there we go. Now, what I've got is I've got that regenerated. It's actually part of that chapter now, but all I have to do is click this little download button here, and that will put it over in my downloads. Here we are. So I'll just open that with Audacity. Here we go. And now I have that whole paragraph in Audacity.
It was for a wild bird. It seems odd. She'd be excited to go to a town.
There we go. So yeah, that's all cleaned up. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab that paragraph, grab that whole paragraph wholesale, come back over here.
For a wild bird, it seems odd. She'd be excited to go to town.
Right. And this is one of the advantages of using ElevenLabs. Even if I'm using my own voice, it's really useful if I write the script, have ElevenLabs generate it, because ElevenLabs, the generation is always going to be the same volume without the background noises. The intonations are going to be the same. So it's going to be impossible to detect that. I'm just going to take this, I'm going to delete that by hitting the backspace, and I'm going to hit V for command. I'm going to paste that in, and now I have this fixed.
It was for a wild bird. It seems odd. She'd be.
So I'm just going to get rid of the it was.
It was for a wild bird. It seems odd. She'd be excited to go to a town. Graham shipped.
So there we go. So now
Graham commented as he lifted his pack onto his shoulders. It was for a wild bird. It seems odd. She'd be excited to go to a town.
There we go. So now I was able to get this in and just simply drop it into place. Okay. So that's one of the advantages of doing the mastering with this. Let's see if I can find some more errors that we're to demonstrate. Okay. So here's another fantastic example of what audio editing is doing for me. When I'm listening to it and I hear something that doesn't sound quite right, I stop and I go investigate. And in this case, I found something kind of funny. So I'll let you listen.
I'm fine, Aiden. Go take care of your gear and say hi to Edelric for me. I'm looking forward to a bath and a fabulous dinner.
Say hi to Edelric.
I'm fine, Aiden. Go take care of your gear and say hi to Edelric for me.
Edelric. That's not the character's name. It's Eldrick. And a little bit later on,
Edelric for me. I'm looking forward to a bath and a fabulous dinner at Jumpers. I'll meet you for dinner. That sounds fantastic. Bring Eldrick if he doesn't have other plans.
See, it actually pronounced it correctly there. So
I'm looking.
So the question is what's going on with this? What's going on with that? So when I come over here to Ream Stories and I try and find that particular, that's I'll meet you for dinner. I'm fine. Go take care of your gear and say hi to, and look at that. I have a typo in the character's name. This never would have showed up in any Grammarly or automatic editor or pro writing aid or anything else, because this is just a character's name, and it not being highlighted because it's recognized as a name. So it's actually ELD, like that. So what that means is I've got that. So I just fix that in here. I hit save. And again, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do the same thing again. I'm just going to go to ElevenLabs directly, and I'm going to go to chapter 11. And I'm going to find EDL. There we go. That's a great way. And I'm just going to fix it. ELD, get rid of the extra L. There we go. Then I'm just going to click on that paragraph. I'm going to click regenerate.
I'm fine, Aiden. Go take care of your gear and say hi to Eldrick for me. I'm looking forward to a bath and a fabulous dinner at Jumpers.
All right, there we go. So now I just download that file. Come over here. Open with Audacity. There we are. And so this is the...
I'm looking forward to a bath and a fabulous dinner at Jumpers. I'm fine, Aiden. Go take care of your gear and say hi to Eldrick for me.
Okay, so I only need to replace this one first pinch right here. So I'm just going to copy that, select that, copy that. Come back over here.
I'm fine, Aiden. Go take care of your gear and say hi to Eldrick for me.
Right, so I'm just going to select this. And you don't have to be all that precise. I'm just going to hit backspace to get rid of it. And then I'm just going to hit paste to paste it back in. And voila, I now have it completely fixed. And you cannot hear that edit.
I can slightly sort it out. I'm fine, Aiden. Go take care of your gear and say hi to Eldrick for me. I'm looking forward to a bath and a fabulous...
So the magic of doing this with text to speech. Okay, so that takes care of that type of edit. Again, that is a very good definition of what I call audio editing. So let's see if I can find something else. This is another error that comes up occasionally, especially on large conversions. Like if you do multiple chapters all at once, I find that it has occasional weird moments when its pronunciation just goes completely sideways. So here, I'll let you listen to this, and you can see what I'm talking about.
Leaving the birds to their own devices, Eden made his way to the forge. The familiar heat and smell of molten metal greeted him, and he found Eldrick hard at work, hammering away at a piece of glowing iron.
At a piece of glowing iron, metal. I mean, so the pronunciation is just completely off. So it wasn't spelling errors. It wasn't anything else. It just went slightly sideways. So all I did was go back to ElevenLabs, find that paragraph, click on it, and I clicked regenerate and download it. So now I have this one. There you go.
Leaving the birds to their own devices, Eden made his way to the forge. The familiar heat and smell of molten metal greeted, and he found Eldrick hard at work, hammering away at a piece of glowing iron.
And that is much better. So I'll just select that whole clip because, I just going to replace that in.
Leaving the birds to their own.
So just going to come in here, paste, and now I just need to find the other end. So I think the other end is right down here. So click here. And let's see, let's just make sure.
Hammering away.
Yeah, so it goes from here to here. You can kind of just match up. You can just look at the sound waves, and that helps you just kind of match right up. I just hit backspace to delete that out. And now I've fixed the pronunciation for that one little section. Okay, so that's it for that type of edit. Let's see if we can find something else. Okay. So now I've finished going through and editing this file. I didn't find one of the things I was looking for, which is occasionally ElevenLabs will do what's called like a like an audio burp or something like that. It's just a really loud screech or a really bad set of sounds. I used to regenerate the whole file when I hit those things, but I have found that they are always isolated. They always look like one of these little spikes right here. And you can cut them out just simply by highlighting them and hitting the backspace, and then they're gone. And it's not actually any words or any part of the paragraphs every time these things pop up. Unfortunately, I haven't found any. And this is already starting to get a little bit long. So I'm just going to show you one last time how I save these things off, which is essentially, I just take this, now that I've edited it and made sure it's all good and all the words are corrected and everything, I just go off and I say, okay, I'm going to export it as an MP3. I'm going to export it into the same location where I got it from and just overwrite the old file, right? So that the old file has the bad stuff. I've already entered in the chapter 11 metadata here. So I'm just going to click OK and out it goes. So that sets up the audio file for that chapter that I could use either in an audiobook or as a no commercial or straight audio file for subscribers, which is what I actually do. Now, the other thing that I'm going to do is now I'm going to grab this. I'm going to turn this into a podcast. So again, I just double click to select the whole thing. I copy that, and then I have another project specifically set up with the intro and the outro for my Secret NVC podcast. It's already selected in the middle. It's just when I save the project, that's where the cursor was. And so it just saves that cursor position. So I just have to click over to this. We're going to click right there and we're going to paste it. I'll just paste it into that audio track. There we go. And I'll just zoom all the way out and you can see that now there's the intro, the chapter, and the outro. So now I export this as an MP3 because it's going to be a podcast. And I go up one level. It's really good to have some organization. This is going to be a podcast. So this is going to be chapter 11. So this is Seeker, and I'm just going to say 01. It's good to have the name of what you're doing in front of it. But the more organized you can be with naming stuff, the better off you're going to be. So I'm just going to get rid of this old one because I just selected it. This is chapter 11, a lot to say. There you are. Hit save. And now there you are. And so this is going to be chapter 11, a lot to say, Seeker and Proceed. It's chapter 11, 2024, and lit RPG. Okie dokie. And that creates the podcast file. Voila. It's as easy as that. Now I'm going to go upload these things to Spotify and get things rocking and rolling. Well, this has gotten a little bit longer than I expected, but I think the content is kind of worth it. Hopefully you enjoyed it. This is part of a long project of the Future Fiction Academy over at the Future Fiction Academy, where we have over 300 courses on using AI for writing fiction, as well as how to write fiction or the craft of writing fiction, and tools around the publishing industry using artificial intelligence or machine learning systems. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like and subscribe buttons below to let the YouTube algorithm know that you enjoyed it. And that way it will be able to show you more content similar to this in the future to help you out, as well as helping others discover this channel themselves. We hope to see you over at the Future Fiction Academy. If you're interested, we have a couple free courses so you can just see what our internal content looks like. The links are in the description below. And we also have a 7-day free trial for the full access Golden Pass, which gives you all of our past classes, all 300 plus lab details, as well as lab notes and access to all classes. Hopefully we'll see you. And in the meantime, have a great day. Bye-bye.